Hey anyone, I'm Hawk, and this is Talk of Better Worlds. So today I was going to make a video on how to mod Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Go over some basic modding tools and rules that apply kind of across the board with all newer Bethesda games. But 3 days ago I either got too ambitious or something went wrong and I had to restart everything again with Oblivion. Wipe the whole thing clean and try it all over again. I've been trying to do that while working for a while now, and I'm also in the middle of rebuilding a house outside of work, so the mod guide video will have to wait, unfortunately. Sometimes stuff just doesn't work with modding, and it can take a while to identify the problem. Even if you follow all the guides and instructions that you find, you still may run into some issues that weren't really anticipated, and sometimes you may even run into a new or unique issue based on the load order that you have, and what's trying to work with what, you know? So, we'll keep giving that a shot, keep trying to rebuild Oblivion and its mods, and if I can get it up and stable again, I will make a video on how you can do it, and walk you through basically the whole process. So while things are really hectic, I figured I'd just make a kind of shorter video talking about why I like mods, generally speaking. And I want to talk about why I think it's worth trying them out on most games. So kick back and listen while you play something else or enjoy some No Man's Sky gameplay. I love a lot of games, but sometimes a game just isn't quite at the place I know it could be. Sometimes a game has a great base, and you could build off of that base to make something truly awesome with mods. Take Red Dead Redemption 2 for instance. I absolutely love that game as it is, but when I played it, I was one of the few people who was slightly disappointed at how light the survival stuff was. It gave us the ability to set up camp everywhere or anywhere. It lets us hunt and fish, skin and cook. It had a great base. I thought the combat was good too, but just a bit under where I wanted it to be in terms of punch and oomph, if that makes sense. I also love when I could fully immerse myself in a game and do life things like jobs and stuff. I don't know why, I do that every day, but it just makes it feel more immersive to me if I can live a life within the game that I'm playing. So for Red Dead 2, I added a combat overhaul that makes combat way more deadly, and a lot scarier and sometimes a little frustrating. I added a survival overhaul that makes it so you need to eat a lot more, but not a crazy amount, or your cores start to really drain hard. I added a jobs mod that lets me bounty hunt more, or drive carriages across the land for deliveries. You could even be a train operator and do different odds and ends and have different occupations and get paid for it so you could buy the cool guns and stuff. These mods took Red Dead Redemption 2 from an 8 out of 10 to an 11 out of 10 for me, personally. And that's the great thing about mods. There's usually so many for so many games and so many different interests and people that you could take an already great experience and tailor it to your liking. I still think it's best to play through a game without mods first to see exactly what the devs intended. I think that's just kind of a respectful thing to do. It may be a little weird, but after that first playthrough, I think it's fine to open the floodgates. Though, I mean, you play however you want to play. I can't tell you what to do, and you should enjoy games however you want to enjoy them. There's never a wrong way to enjoy a game. So many games have mods, and a lot of them are made really easy with things like Steam Workshop or the Nexus Vortex. But the rules and procedures for modding games can vary greatly depending on the age of the game or the accessibility of its mods. Sometimes engines are a little more fickle than others, and you have to do certain things that you may not have to do on other games to get some games to work. In short, mods are awesome, and I think they could not only enhance a great game, but fix kind of meh games and tailor a gaming experience to fit your wants and needs. You can accent a game with cool new stuff, fix things that were broken. I'm looking at you, Bethesda. Or you can radically remake a game. Sometimes a game can be a canvas for something totally new. If you want to get into modding something, don't feel overwhelmed. Sometimes it's a lot to take in, and it can be very intimidating to try and start modding games if you've never done it before. After you learn what you're doing, you get better at it just like anything else, and it becomes a lot easier over time. But it just takes that time, and it takes a lot of reading, too. You have to really read everything you find. Guides, tools, help, assistance, forums. If you have any questions, it's always best to look for the answers to those questions before you try to do things on your own, because you could easily mess up and have to wipe the slate clean and start all over again. Which will probably happen at some point, but it's best to try and avoid that as much as possible. Hopefully in the future, when things settle down a little bit on my end, I can make some guides for modding different games that I love or have modded or played for a long time. If that's something you'd be interested in, just let us know, and if you have a game you'd like to see modded in particular, or like to see a guide for modding in particular, comment below and maybe we could make that happen sometime. I own a lot of games, and I can almost guarantee that if there's a game you'd like to see, I probably already have it or can get it. So just let us know what you think, and thank you for listening.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Give us a like if you enjoyed it, and dislike it if you didn't.
Let us know what you think about the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Tell your mom.